Oh, yeah. Let's go. Greetings and good morning, everybody. Wow, it is the first Friday of 2026. Welcome. I hope you're having a great 2026 so far. I have made appearances on shows I haven't been on in a while. Like last night, I was on Comics Division, Thursday Night Throwdown for about a half an hour before I actually went to bed and fell asleep within 5 minutes. Because again, the medications I'm taking right now are pretty strong. So I take my pills and about a half hour later I'm asleep. So there's that. But it's good because they're going to keep me alive for a long time. The conversation I'm going to just tell you, because I always told you I'd update you on the medical stuff. The heart medications stuff that I'm taking is not, the thing that's keeping me alive. But I have to see a cardiologist because I'm on any kind of medication related to the heart, which would include the blood pressure medication. She says I'm young. I laughed and said thank you. But she reminded me most of the people that see her are seeing her because, well, they're over 80 years old. So at least I'm not 80. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. Everything's going crazy. Great. And it's good to see a crazy white boy out there. And Caveat Ties, Ms. Pit Cafe, Commander Ed Shaker of Shadow. We've got Ms. Pit Cafe, Juliet, look at her. And Jill, TZ Burton's out there. Randall Orser all the way from Canada. Look at these great people. And thank you, Ruby Hoop, for gifting a Culture Casino membership. And our first super chat of the day came all the way from the very lovely and talented First Dragon Queen, I believe, if I can find it. Nope, actually, technically, SFXF314 Sabertooth Raptor for 5 Culture Casino cash said, how about a movie parody called Smurfing Tar, Lava and Asps? I think that'd be great, actually. Might do better than the original. I think so, too. And I was correct. It was First Dragon Queen with the first super chat at 5 Culture Casino bucks saying, watching season 5 of Stranger Things review will follow. Oh no. Okay, I can't wait to hear what you have to say because I talked with Paul Chatto about that at length. He was unthrilled. And I was wrong. The first chat of the day was from Juliet from across the pond with $2 in actual money. £2 sterling, actually, saying good afternoon, young Gandalf and Maiar. That's you guys. Oh my gosh, let's go. We've got so much to do today. And it's so many generous people out there. I am thankful for you, including Barry the Music Man, who seems to be everywhere these days, and it's great that you are. Good morning, Culture Casino, TGIF. Let's do it. Yes, let's do it indeed. Did you guys see this morning's video? I tried to drop it nice and early. If you're on the West Coast, it dropped at 4:30 a.m. your time, Mountain Time at 5:30, Central Time at 7:30, and I think also at 7:30 on the East Coast. So there's that. Tobach, it's great to see you, my friend. We got Andy Masterson out there, one of the most talented people on the internet. We've got, look at all these wonderful people. Holy cow, the Batcap is here. I hope everything's going well for you, Batcap, and your family. You know I'm praying for you every day. And the beautiful Deeple is here. Run, run, reindeer, my friend. Run, run, reindeer. On the green machine. Hey, what's going on? Look at these great people out there. By the way, 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whatever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We've got a lot to talk about. Not a lot of time to do it in. 17 minutes or 17 stories in all, probably 17 minutes worth of information stuffed into 6 so we can get it all out there. We'll have a little bit of bonus time, but not too much. We've got a lot of shows coming up later today. Friday's always the busiest of days, but I already did a video about this guy. Just wanted to call your attention to the article itself from Deadline, which I called Dateline in the video. I'm an idiot. Anyway, Tony Dockapil asserts that CBS Evening News will be independent from its corporate owner. That's really not what he was saying. He says, I report for you, and I'm going to try to represent your interests rather than than the interests of, let's say, politicians, elites, and other things. If this guy's true to his word, I'm looking forward to his newscasts. I will be this guy's biggest fan if he actually does what he says he's going to do. Which, believe it or not, I support anybody who says what they're going to do as long as it's aligned with my values and the direction I want this country to go. I don't want to be overrun by a bunch of garbage, and that's what's been happening, along with a bunch of people who peddle garbage, such as fraud and scandal and everything else. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to if this man actually does what he says and Barry Weiss actually lets him do what he's saying. We've got Avatar, Fire, and Ash not doing what they said they were going to do, but it did top the box office chart for New Year's Eve at 8.1 million. Domestic ticket sales end at 2025 at $8.9 billion, not making the $9 billion that was projected. But guess what? They're not the only ones in the fight, because we're always fighting a different place, which we'll get to in a moment. Before that, though, the conversation around Stranger Things is... not great, considering this is a critic from Hollywood Reporter saying it's confused and a protracted bang that it went out on. And I don't think a lot of people were crazy about Stranger Things ending. I think a lot of people, like Paul Shadow even, reflected on the fact you could have watched the first episode of season 5 and the last episode, the finale, and been satisfied. Because everything in the middle was just mush-brain garbage. And I have to agree. Speaking of mush-brain garbage, we're back to talking about Avatar, Fire, and Ash. U.S. cumulative rises to $250 million. By the way, that's not a big deal compared to the previous films. This is actually looking a bit rough. It's not just down 40% in ticket sales. It's down more substantially than that. We'll get to that update next week, I assure you. But $8.87 billion, up 2% from last year, is not the number they were hoping for, and I don't think ComScore is going to be thrilled with it either. We got Chevy Chase wanting to be back in a reunion with the guys from Three Amigos because he misses them. And, I think it'd be kind of brilliant if they were on Only Murders in the Building. A lot of people don't like Chevy Chase these days, and I'm not sure why, but hey, I'd like to see him do that. Speaking of other box office, we're going to talk China. Niza 2, Zootopia 2 leading the China box office past 7.4 billions. And again, these are films supported by the CCP. That should lead you to question where the loyalties lie or where the content lies when it comes to Disney, especially with Zootopia 2 and Avatar. We've got health subsidies expiring. Well, actually, they did just a day or so ago. Millions of Americans are going into 2026 with steep insurance hikes, or they could just find insurance that would be different than the Obamacare, which the ACA is complete garbage and has done nothing but enrich the insurance companies, which is why never trust a politician to do things that is done better by the private sector in a more competitive way. The federal ruling has now blocked Hawaii's climate change tourist tax, their garbage tax, I would call it, on cruise ships. They're still going to put it on the hotels. You're still going to have to pay it. There are very few reasons to visit Hawaii, and tourism drives the economy there. So there's that. Daniel, I'll take a look at your chat in just a minute. U.S. imposes sanctions on 4 Venezuelan oil firms and 4 more tankers in Maduro crackdown. But that's not the only news coming out of this, because they're not going to stop hitting boats and taking oil tankers. They've told them stop doing it. In fact, we already got that story. Let's move on. We got one more. Okay. California delaying revoking 17,000 commercial driver's license from illegals. Notice how they forget that word in the story headline here. Until March after immigrants sue. These are not immigrants. These are people who are illegally doing illegal things, getting illegal jobs illegally. And oysters, crabs, and lobsters were stolen. $400,000 worth in New England. I couldn't believe that when I saw it and said, hey, I should report that. Speaking of reporting things, Tesla loses the title of the world's largest electric vehicle maker because sales have come down. Well, that's because the federal government and all the news agencies threw a hissy fit because, Elon Musk doesn't agree with them politically. I'm going to tell you right now, Tesla's going to have no problem rebounding from this next year with the Model 2 and the robo-taxis that are going to be out on the road destroying things like Waymo and other driving vehicle situations, and then maybe probably Uber and Lyft at the same time. Wall Street's joining global markets. They have upbeat 2026 numbers are going up up if you're invested or you have a 401k. But just remember, with that comes the problems of, well, BlackRock and the other big funds, because they are doing everything they can to hurt you in the future. Greece cuts student population at universities in half after they get rid of the long study breaks entirely. Good idea. Get rid of the opportunity for people to live off of the loan money. Finland police arrest 2 members of the cargo ship's crew that were essentially dragging an anchor to destroy communications. And finally, the bear story. Why California chose the grizzly bear as its state animal after it went extinct? Well, because it was safe. That's a huge problem. Anyway, it's wild, it's crazy, and it's a bear. Weird Darkness is in the house with extreme generosity, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll grab that super duper chat from Extremely Generous. Weird Darkness. I wish I had the clip that Pro plays. But I will say this. Thank you very much. Your generosity goes fully noticed. Yeah, you don't go unnoticed here. $10 per minute for the man who, with the greatest cartoon and theme song of all time. I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot wait for the development of that animation. We're talking about full scale episodes, apparently. So I'm going to get with Pro, give him some ideas. We're going to walk through some of my misadventures, and we're going to put them out there for you, Weird Darkness. So, Weird Darkness official, thank you for being here, my friend. And the $60 super duper chat for the Culture Casino 6-Minute Daily is, again, much appreciated, my friend. We've got our regular here in the chat, of course, is Graph Webb, who is the most consistent person on the internet on any channel. Graph Webb chooses to participate in, saying, for Frank's sake, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. And I couldn't agree with this more. Encourage you to use it every single day. Speaking of the golden voices, here's one of them. Follow the Bradley's Fun. You can check out Follow the Bradley's Fun and his entire family. Ron's over there giving you the information and the entertainment that you need every day. He says, Culture just quoted Golden. That's right, from K-pop Demon Hunters. Don't tell people my secrets. What's going on with you right now? We did get a bear story. Again, grizzly bear. California is the only state that would do that. It's like, like waiting for something to go extinct in your state. California is the land of extinction. They're extinguishing all of the major corporations out of their state right now. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. So there's that. J. Luthria, good to see you. This is Bear. That's right. We love bears on this channel. Huge fan. We got our own, actually, our favorite polar bear, Snorta Pupus Cuber, hanging out there. Ms. Pig Coffee, thank you, dear. You're amazing. We got some bonus minutes indeed. I think Tolkien fans out there hiding in secret. We got TZ Burton in here talking about San Francisco. That's right. They think grizzly bears could be making a comeback in California, but I will believe it when I see it. I just know that the other states that still have grizzlies are having trouble with them. In fact, most states are still having bear trouble now because we don't do any management. So it's pretty wild. Jill is giving additional thanks to Weird Darkness official. Thank you very much indeed. Griffin's View gives me a moment of history almost as regularly as any other thing on this channel. Thank you, Griffin's View. Griffins says on January 2, 1839, the first known photo of the moon was taken by French photographer Louis Daguerre. That's right. Yeah, somebody with a famous name and a famous photo. Oh, my goodness, what a day. Lobster meat destined for Costco stores in Illinois was stolen by a fraudulent trucking company based in Minnesota. Oh my gosh, the fraud goes seafood. That explains an awful lot. Thank you, Mercer, for the update on that story. I did not convey the context, but does that surprise anybody that fraud is prevalent in Minnesota, the home of Tim Walz, and the land of, well, illegals, let's just say. We've got Juliet back out there with another £2 sterling. Thank you, dear. Much appreciated. Wishing you all a happy new year. That's right, indeed. And my goodness, my friend Muqtadir Ali is in the house. I bet you he's waiting for the first Mr. H-Cast. The H-Cast is returning. It'll be back, I believe, on the 6th. I think that's correct. And I'm very much looking forward to it along with the rest of the crew. So be prepared for that Tuesday afternoon show returning across the multiple countries in which it airs. So hopefully you will all be there. I'll be there. That's right. Let's see who else is out in the wilderness. Man, so many great people out there. Good morning to you, O2RR. Great to see you. I feel like I'm talking to droids now. It's the weirdest thing about this at symbol thing and non-screen names. It's wild stuff. At least I know most of you have most of your screen name, in your handle. It's just bonkers. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. YouTube is still struggling with fixing this. It doesn't make sense to me. This is how creators actually connect with their audiences, is talking to them, seeing people regularly, and they're or making it more challenging for that opportunity. So it's okay. I can figure it out. I think you guys are that important. But it's good to see you all. Hey, culture is a bear, says Randall Orser. You know what? Apparently I can get grumpy as a bear. Cat Slave is telling the truth out loud in front of everybody. Gruesome Newsome is trash, otherwise known as new scum. So there's that. Speaking of sending me food, Snortopoopas is asking, probably hungry, saying, I thought the state bears in Cali lived in San Francisco. Well, yeah. Look, San Francisco has started a lot of bear bands. Boy bands. Anyway, okay, what else we got out there in the world? We got a lot of brilliant human beings. So, Will 67V is out there. We've got more people out there. I remember being stalked by a black bear. Creepiest feeling ever. Yeah, black bears will stalk you. They will take opportunity to eat you. Again, be bear aware, because they are not as friendly as you would like them to be. They are not there. They're not a teddy bear. They will eat your face. They will eat you while you're still alive. They won't even bother to eliminate you. Well, some people have lived through a mauling and partial consumption. That's bonker sauce. I saw a guy on a Matt Rife comedy special that had literally had a bear rip their arm off, and they survived. They were in the audience. It's crazy stuff. Daniel Alpine, I told you I'd get back to you, buddy. Says, while teaching would be an ideal position to share my knowledge, I agree with you, Daniel. Can I make income from solely writing books and articles instead as an animation historian? I think you can. I think you should start immediately. In fact, one of the best ways to become a writer is to write every day. In fact, you should be writing every day. I write every day, whether or not I'm going to give it to anybody to look at or whether or not it's going to be any good. Writing every day allows your mind to be unblocked and unburdened. You have the opportunity to put your thoughts to paper, and sometimes those become larger ideas. Some of them eventually become scripts, and some of them actually just denote moments in history. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy commentary from you, and of course, Griffin's View, who gives us a daily history lesson every single day. Look at all these great people out there. I can't believe it. We are blessed with brilliance in this audience and lovely and generous audience members. Archer Merchant says, with a super duper chat for some Culture Casino cash. Looks like $6 or $5. Hard to see. I'm not wearing the right glasses today, guys. Sorry about that. Says there's irony that in claiming they wanted to avoid a GOT-like ending for Stranger Things, it somehow did anyway. It did. As I said yesterday and actually, I think Pro released that video today, either on That Park Place or on WDW Pro's channel of myself, Chato, and Real Life Fake Wizard. We were all talking about the ending and the fact that it perfectly mirrors exactly what happened in Game of Thrones Season 8. But to be fair, as I mentioned the other day, Game of Thrones started to head downhill in Season 5. They'd run out of book material. They didn't have source material anymore. They had rough ideas from the creator, George R.R. Martin, but they didn't come up with anything substantive or any final satisfactory ending. They didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't land the plane. They all of a sudden became J.J. Abrams, and just like Lost, couldn't find an end. And so Mystery Box Theater, which is what Stranger Things was, really didn't have a lot to offer, which is why I think Shadow was right. If you want to watch the end of Stranger Things with Season 5, watch the first episode of Season 5 and watch the very last episode. You'll have better closure and miss the nonsense, including a 12-minute testimonial that everybody seems to think they could have done without. But Archer Merchant also says, Also, tell me they knew it'd be bad. I'm going to tell you right now, they knew it was going to be bad. They they did the same thing D&D did on their way out. The big head, little head guys, DB Weiss and whatever his name was. Those two guys ran away from GOT to what they thought would be a better day. Guess what? They did not get their Star Wars trilogy. I think Paramount's going to wake up, if they didn't already, to the fact that these guys can't land the plane. The Duffer Brothers ran out of ideas, and they brought the plane in at the direction of Netflix, bringing in the message and all the other garbage that Netflix always seems to shove in everything that, well, has some value. Because while you already had indications that, Will swung the other way, you didn't need 12 minutes of a speech in front of a bunch of people who, in the particular time frame that we're talking about in the 80s, the era I grew up in, would have reacted entirely differently and would have reacted within their personality, which they didn't happen to do. So my objection is in seeing that film clip, which is what I saw. I can understand why it dropped the ratings for the show into the ground. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. My friend James Dosher says, indeed, I started writing today. Yeah, you'd write every day, don't you? At 5:30 a.m., right when the muses grab you. Indeed, yeah. Yeah, when you feel inspired, that's when you should be. You should be writing. And inspiration can strike at any moment. In fact, I have, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you some secrets. Right by my bed, I have an 8.5 by 11 notepad. It used to have a legal pad, a 14-inch long legal pad. But I often found that I couldn't keep it in the lines at night when I woke up to write something. So now, regular 8.5 by 11 pad that's lined, college ruled, and I'll write down my thoughts, my ideas. Sometimes they're just memes. Like I have an idea for a meme now that I started to collect elements from last night, and as I mull over it, it gets more and more refined. So, and to believe it or not, I take inspiration from others, whether it be Snoop Dogg or WDW Pro or the combination of both. Yada da da da. Anyway, it's good to see everybody this morning. We've got Leif Erickson out there. We're glad to see you, Leif. We got Zen Wookie joining us this morning. Look at all these great humans. We are blessed with the best of humanity on the Culture Casino channel. If you're here for the first time and you're not subscribed, double check right down there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button right now. It will help with the distribution of this live stream, as does, well, believe it or not, any kind of interaction. Super chats, membership gifts, all those things hit like the additional triggers for YouTube because, they're collecting money. But your thumbs up and your comments actually light up the world. So I just want to say thanks for that. James Dosher says, ouch, what are you ouching for, buddy? I was promoting you. I think it's great that you write every day. They didn't got themselves. I don't know, Jeff. It wasn't terrible, but it was not good at all. There you go. Okay. All right. Your point is taken, my friend. I understand the nuance you're conveying, but they ruined what could have been one of the best shows of all time and made it just mediocre with the last season. Okay. All right. You know what? That's probably a more moderated way to say it and probably even more accurate. I know you know this and everybody out there in the audience knows this. Shh. Hyperbole increases engagement. That's why you see people that shouldn't be attack their audience, or people attack other creators or whatever. Is they're trying to get something going. I use vocabulary to castigate and criticize and not find favor with things. So let's just put it that way. But no, I like you said, I think you're right. I think your observation is correct. And I think that's kind of what Paul Chatta was trying to say yesterday, which again, I always find Paul to be the voice of reason, which is why I always encourage people to subscribe to Call Me Chato and to his Appalling News. I think he's brilliant. And I miss talking to him every day. Hopefully, when the clock changes again, we spring forward. I'll be able to join Midnight's Edge in the morning, and this show will probably move an hour one way or another to accommodate that opportunity, because I really do miss it. Just as much as I miss not being hanging out with That Park Place every day or WDW Pro every day. With the number of doctor's appointments I had in the last 2 months, that was to be expected. But going forward, there'll be less of that. So I'll see more of you. In fact, I'll probably be seeing you on Wednesday evenings. And more on that later. We'll have an announcement to make on that later. So there's that. Very exciting. Look, Ron Smith says the magical words, Happy New Year, y'all. And you know what? The most important word there is y'all. Because, I like using y'all. Y'all is the best end to a sentence ever. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Look at all these amazing people. I am so blessed. Muqtadir Ali said, I sent a donation. It's not showing up. I'm sorry, friend. Saying, I've written a few scripts not produced, but I get writer's block. Any advice? Solicit others to read the material that you have developed and ask them for their input, because their critique will often inspire you to maybe from wherever their last point of criticism would be, or their observation. That'll inspire you to maybe change directions that'll remove the block. Oftentimes I find that if I change the motivations or start writing a different character from the point at which I'm blocked, it'll open up pathways and opportunities to redevelop the thing I was talking about, or to continue on from the point in the story I am with that given character. Usually it signals to me that I have run to the end of the direction I currently think I have for that character. So switching to a different character or a different setting or whatever it is you've got going on is usually a good thing. Sometimes it's a great opportunity to introduce a secondary character, and you bring them into the conversation if they're going to be there. It's, you know what, I would say watch a Bond movie, an early one, not any of the recent stuff, and especially not the video game, which I talked about in a video 2 days ago. But Bond, Ian Fleming's writing, even if you just read it, you don't necessarily have to watch the movie. But if you watch where they bring in a sub villain or a subplot, or a Bond girl or something like that, changes the conversation entirely. It changes the focus of the writing, which frees your brain up to look at other things that could happen, or how you would introduce that person to Bond, things like that. It's just, Man with the Golden Gun was one of those things. Goldfinger, both when you got to strange points in relationships where perhaps you needed a different direction. Oftentimes you'd write the death of the girl character or whatnot. It's those opportunities that give you a chance to go another direction. At least that's what in my observation, in my experience, that I've dealt with that. Just a suggestion. You don't have to listen to me, but solicit others' opinions. That's always another way to head it another direction. My friend Lord Shax is reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button right there. There you go. Thank you very much. If you're on the green machine, I love you. You guys are great. And according to Catslave, in 69 years, I've never actually seen a James Bond book by Fleming in the bookstores. Go get them. Go get the old ones. If you can find the old paperbacks at like a used place, like a Helping Hand Books or Secondhand Books or any of those places, grab it. Grab it. Because you're going to get an unadulterated copy of James Bond. I have a feeling that since Amazon has control of the character, they will adulterate the hell out of it and try to modernize it for the modern audience that doesn't exist. We're writing for people who don't show up or buy anything. That's freaking stupid if you're a retail company. But hey, there you go. Gold member. He's the man. Goldfinger. By the way, great voice. If you ever noticed that the intro songs and the Bond songs are as iconic as the films themselves. Fascinating. Even Duran Duran, right? View to a Kill. Spectacular. U2 even did a good Bond song, but Starfall still may be one of my favorite modern Bond songs. Randall Orser is demonstrating generosity. through gifting. That's right. 20 of you have now become members at the beginning of the year. You have a full month of January to get, well, members first videos, like what happened with the video I dropped technically for members last night, but came out this morning for everybody else. One of the advantages that you get along with movie night, which Comics Division and I are going to reinstitute once a month on our shared movie night streams. We want you to be there so you can hang out with Randall Orzer and Roland the Wretched and many others and enjoy classic films that are, well, good, like action movies. Maybe we'll watch Cobra with Cobretti this year. Maybe we'll watch the original Karate Kid. We don't know. You don't know. But you can watch it with us and you don't have to pay for a subscription anywhere else. You don't have to have the movie in your collection. You don't have to go to some special link. You just have to join the live stream and participate with each and every one of us. So I try to give it to you for as free as I can outside of the membership costs, which again, it's a cup of coffee. Monthly membership's a cup of coffee for the base level tier, and you don't have to be any more special than that. We've got the gardening channel launching next week, along with, if I can get it set up, I will. Thank you for your attention to this matter channel, which I'm going to take all of the live streams from the main channel, move them over there for you to watch. And then as that membership builds up and I get to 1,000 members over there, I will start broadcasting that podcast live from that channel on Tuesday and Thursdays after the HCast, your favorite afternoon evening podcast, which returns January 6th, which I think is Tuesday. Not certain, but I'm pretty sure. Hey, James Dosher says the ouch was for an earlier report about, now I forget. Dang it. Well, I'm sorry, my friend. But it's great to see you all. TT3, the Texan, is out there receiving a gift. Look at all these people going green because of Randall Orser's extreme generosity with the gifties. That's right. Many much gifties out there, along with the incredibly generous and wonderful human being that I got to meet in person, who's a great wildlife photographer. In fact, Scott Westbrook, who drops 5 CultureCasino memberships for the beginning of the year. So we ended the year with Scott giving 5. We begin the year with Scott giving 5. He's also supports one of my favorite people on the planet, Lorena Creole, the Florida Queen, who you should be subscribed to as well. If you're not checking out Lorena's stuff regularly, I feel bad for you. You're missing out. You're missing out on old vacation hotspots that you're going to want to drive by, opportunities to see history in motion in real life, and of course, wonderful fare before it disappears. Like, what was the name of the cupcake place that's going to disappear in Disney Springs and everywhere else? All of those cupcake stores are gone. Sprinkles? Is that what it was called? Sprinkle gonna be gone. There will be no more sprinkling. It'll be there won't be at least, you'll still hear sprinkle, but you're not going to be able to go to one. Anyway, it's good to see you all. It's great to see Penny out there saying hello to Canadian Spider-Man out there slaving away as one of the amazing mods on the channel. Man, we've got so many mods. They're great people. Cat Slave reminds us that the Sean Connery Bond movies are the only true Bond movies. I would say, what's his name? The other fellow was pretty good. His name just fell out of my head. He was one of my favorite Bonds, and he's gone. It's not Weathersby. I forget what his last name is, but he only got one film. He got married, and then the bride got killed. Gosh darn it! Heck, fire, shoot. And there's that. Oh, look at these great humans. I am so blessed. Let's see. Who else is out there in the weeds? Let's see. Who didn't we say anything? Randall Orser says, I can think of a couple of good reasons Sydney Sweeney should be a Bond girl. I can think of more than 2, but I understand your point. Well, your 2 points. Anyway, oh no, culture, you misogynistic, terrible human. No, not really. I'm observant. Men are observant. Sorry about that. Texas, Feliz Año Nuevo. Indeed. Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year. Yep. Feliz Navidad. Yeah. Start singing songs now in Spanish. Thank you, Texas. Shame on Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he's a tool. Sorry. Did you see what he allowed his new wife to do to herself? She's inflated everything. Her lips look like they could float. She's like, her lips are the Hindenburg, and then she inflated some other stuff too. What, ladies, I love you, but stop, please. I mean, come on. Some of the horror stories I hear about, what do you call it? Plastic surgery or procedures like that. And look, I was watching a lady on television, one of the CNN panelists, yammering away, and all you could see was her bottom teeth because she had so much Botox in her top lip so it would hide her wrinkles. She must have like super wrinkle face. She must look like the Joker without makeup, but she definitely was trying to cover all that up. And all of a sudden now I just see the bottom teeth. I'm like, it's just terrible. Stop it. Stop it. That's all I got to say. There's no reason. You earn your wrinkles. Trust me, I'm old. I know. That's why, I've never earned anything, so I have very few wrinkles. So I don't have a lot on my forehead or my face. But I have gray hairs. I earned every one of those. So there's that. And I made my mom earn a lot of them too. Oh, I was a bad, bad boy. Anyway, trying to catch up with y'all. We got Archer Merchant again. Hey, buddy. For another 2 Culture Casino cash, saying the Hindenburg had a better landing. Oh, no. I don't know. A couple $1 billion is good bucks. Look, I mean, wasn't he married to Mackenzie Scott, who's now wasting her money on super lefty causes and essentially causing the deterioration of the country? I think so. So maybe she was making bad decisions in their marriage, so it doesn't surprise me. And basically, he got a stop order on her, so she can't actually sell out from underneath him that stock. I think it's the 9-year or 10-year kill order that she has to hold everything for. So anyway, there's that. Carlos, what's going on? Our buddy Carlos Alfredo Lopez out there saying, Happy New Year, Culture Casino and Culturians. That's right. That's you guys, Culturians. You're also my magical wizards. Indeed. Chris Cornell did a banger of a Bond tune, but Paul McCartney is the winner with Live or Let Die. By the way, if you ever see that in a stadium concert tour, if Paul McCartney ever does one of those, like U2 used to do, big bands, big acts used to be able to do that instead of taking, overpaid residencies like J-Lo, who can't sell any damn tickets. Anyway, McCartney played that in a football stadium that held almost 100,000 people. And when the jet took off, which is part of the song, it flew around the entire stadium. So it wasn't just 3D sound. It was full surround sound for Live and Let Die. In fact, the pyrotechnics for that went around the entire football field area where all the entire flat seating was. I've seen a lot of concerts, and that one still sticks with me. U2 within in their heart-shaped arena tour was pretty good, but man, what was the guy that sang, I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell, I know right now you can't tell. Anyway, him and his band did a great tour, and they had plexiglass speakers, amplifiers, everything was see-through, including the lighting systems and the stacks of speaker boxes. You could literally see front to back through all of that amazing electronic equipment. And the risers, like for the drum stands and everything was plexi. It was freaking phenomenal. They got some incredible coverage shots. I guarantee you it was videoed. It was spectacular. So, yeah. According to Jay out there, J-Bay, says, I hope to be able to contribute and get memberships once my husband finds himself a new job. Oh, no, he got laid off. Government contract during holiday season. That's terrible. That's terrible. I really don't miss contract work. I really don't. Because, obviously there's end dates. I mean, sometimes you can schedule around them, but if there's a layoff in the midst of a contract, that's awful. I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully he does find new employment quickly. Oftentimes government deals are a little easier to find. I've got family members right now looking to move from one state government to another. They work in a field that's needed in every state. But if that happens, then I lose my access to a neighborhood vet. So kind of bumming about that. Let's see what else is happening out there. We got Randall saying we should do a John Woo marathon with Hard Boiled, A Better Tomorrow, and The Killer. You know what? The Killer's great. Great flick. I really enjoyed that. Look at all these great people out there. We got Mark. What's our Mark Medina out there? Battle Trick says, Weepa. There you go. How you doing, CC? Fire Chief, I'm telling you what, I feel fantastic. I feel great. I feel spectacular, wonderful, and tremendous. I have other adjectives, but you guys get bored of that. But I feel good. It was a lovely evening's sleep. Like I said, once I take my medication at night, there's like a half-hour window, and I gave it to the Thursday night throwdown on Comics Division. But yeah, so until there's one medication that knocks me out. Until they pull that out of the mix, which I'm hoping for sometime in February, yeah, I'm just going to be early to bed and medium to rise. I don't know. We'll see. Look at you, great humans. Look at all these lovely people. I can't believe it. James says, "Yak, no more sprinkles. What is the world coming to? Well, less cupcakes. Honestly, I mean, what could you get at Sprinkles you couldn't get better at Gideon's? If you're going to Disney Springs anyway." Did you hear permanently removed conservatives and attendees at the future governor's event? That it was an informal event at Disney World. What a scummy thing to do. Iger is pure trash, and so is everybody else out there, folks. Sorry about that. Gosh, dang it. Terrible. Roger Moore. No. The other fella. The baddest Bond, he was called. He was in Her Majesty's Secret Service. It was the only movie he was in. And he married the character in there who was the mobster's daughter. I absolutely loved that film. And look, I mean, it was the sad Bond until Daniel Craig showed up, and then he proved to be a much sadder. So there's that. George Lazenby, thank you. James Dosher comes through. Lazenby. Hey, look, so did Zanwookie. Look at you guys. Yeah. What in tarnation? Look at we're using Southern words now, kids. Look out. Look out. His name is George Lazenby. Look at it. I just needed to look 8 minutes into the past. That's what it was. I look 8 minutes into the past, and what do I see? I see things that show up in the future, like Texas 84, with the incredible, phenomenal generosity of 5 CultureCasino memberships. That's right, gifties. We got many much gifties out there. I just want to say, thank you very much. We're going to win this race. According to Catslave, if I sing I Feel Pretty, they're leaving. All right. I won't do that. But I will reload, so I'll be unfrozen. So hang on a moment. I'll be right back. After these messages, I'll be right back. That wasn't even in tune. How terrible was that? Man, I feel like I was on The Voice as one of the judges. Oh! Terrible. I'm all shook up. Oh, look at you guys. Look at you. Hey, we got a member chat out there. This is why I love Ms. Pig Cafe, who takes care of so much, along with the amazing Jill Powers and Juliet. You guys, they keep me on my toes. Notice it's all the ladies. Ladies! That's right. Anyway, let's say a big shout out and thank you to Larry. Larry's amazing. Larry's been around a long, long time. Look at that. 5 months of membership. Happy New Year, Culture and friends. Happy New Year to you, Larry. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope everything's going well in your world. I always worry about people when I don't see them as frequently as I used to. Cat Slave does not want to hear me sing I Am Pretty. I'm still bummed about that. I actually did a good job with that one. Diana Rigg was the best of Game of Thrones. Yes. Who else is out there? Still frozen. Tiny frozen. Tiny bubbles. All right, let's try it again. Let's see what happens. Hang on. All the buds have been blue. They don't know what to do ever since you said goodbye to me. And the flowers in their gloom, they just refuse to bloom because they all want you back, you see. Naturally. Little Billy Joel for you. All right, I'm frozen on both platforms. Yikes, Ghostly Aspen says over on the Green Machine. La Machine. You guys remember those commercials? Yikes. The member super chats don't show up in culture setup, so it seems. No, it does not. That's why Ms. Pick Cafe does amazing things and helps me out. Make sure I don't miss them, so I can say thank you to Larry, who I appreciate. Took me a long time to get to it, but again, my fault. Weatherman over on the Green Machine, saying hi to everybody. Good to see the Weatherman. Hope the Weatherman's feeling good. Hope the New Year's treating you right, Weatherman. Speaking of which, do you guys check out Jay's show this morning? He was on fire. Everybody's been on fire. Loki was on fire. I'm like getting everything set up. Everything was going good. I set up most of the show last night, but I went and found a few of the other stories in the evening, including the bear story. I'm going to tell you that Cultured Gardener's coming. I'm going to try to get the channel set up and get it populated. Again, first video out the gate's going to be how to build the initially build soil, not the final soil. That's the thing. Once you build your soil, if you're using gardening soils from like various locations, that's just the starting point, guys. If you're trying to grow real crops, real foods, and have things lift you up over time, have your soil mature, replenish itself, things like that. There's a little bit of subtle trickery you can do to make sure that your soil replenishes itself. And by the time we are done, and the thing that I'm going to do when I get to Tennessee, one of the things I will do is actually not just teach people, but sell people pre-done terra preta. Terra preta is the final soil. It's the black humus. And I'm not saying hummus is in the stuff you go buy at the store. It's that's another word for soil. It's black, it's crumbly, it's terra preta. You can find it in the rainforest. In fact, that soil was built thousands of years ago, and it still has all of the amazing nutrient value that it had back then because it's constantly replenishing itself. Things that are either harvested at the outside, plants that fall to the ground, make its way throughout this entire mass of soil in the rainforest. The rainforest didn't exist before. A lot of people don't realize that. It built up over centuries, thousands of years, as a matter of fact, and this soil did the same. One of the things they discovered when they dumped tens of thousands of tons of orange peel into the soils in a given part of the rainforest is that it actually added to the quality of the soil. I know it sounds strange and it's very acidic, but it did help out the terra preta or rebuild it in some cases where maybe it was losing some potency. So we're going to be talking about all of that on the gardening channel. Anyway, lots of stuff to talk about, guys. And we're going to talk about some bears, but I'm going to talk about recipes too. That's the other thing. One of my passions, again, I always say, and again, I recorded a video specifically that was a pre-recorded 6-minute daily while I was having a surgical procedure that you guys got to watch, I think last week, maybe it was the week before. But the reason I recorded that 6-minute daily as a pre-recorded video was because I wanted you guys to take away the idea that there's something out there for everybody. There's something for you to do. You have a built-in purpose in this world, whether or not you believe it or not. Some people pray to find it. Some people happen to stumble into it. Some people discover an aptitude for doing something that maybe wasn't their key interest. But that's that's one of the things I truly believe in. I found my purpose. My purpose is to help people get to goals, especially when it comes to growing things, eating healthy, those types of things. I want everybody to live as long as they possibly can. I want you to live as long as you possibly can, and I want you to find your purpose. But gardening can be a natural part of everybody's day, and it's a healthy part because it gets you outside moving and moving things around. You actually exercise, you get some sunlight, some vitamin D that maybe you didn't know you were getting. You might get into hydroponics, you might get into greenhouse gardening, you might get into everything. But that's, again, the purpose of the gardening channel is to get you to know how to grow things, why you're growing specific foods, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, they're going to go to the grocery store, and many of you probably do, to buy like a potato, like a russet potato, a baking potato or a mashing potato, whatever you want to call them, but they're cheap and they're overfarmed. And they come out of Idaho, and there's nothing wrong with them except for that, they lack the nutrient value they used to have 50 years ago, maybe 100 years ago. So I want to talk about better potatoes, things like that. And I just want you to eat better. I want you to know how to do it. It's not that hard. And I want people who don't think they have a green thumb to discover one and how to go about getting it. Speaking of which, for those of you talking about the Nicolas Cage Madden movie, I'm with you. I think I promoted that or either earlier this week or last week. I think it was last week. I'll just say, I think it was even on this day or yesterday that I did it a week ago. I do believe that the Mad movie is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Nicolas Cage, despite, his many flaws and his accidental garbage films, which he took so he could pay off his taxes, he's a brilliant actor, incredibly talented. Again, he grew up in a Hollywood family. For those of you who don't know, he's a Coppola. I bet you some of you didn't know that. He's a Coppola. His sister's a brilliant actress. She's also a director. But he's incredible. So I'm looking forward to the Mad movie too. If you are, you've joined my team. The Bad Caps are saying heading out. Wife is in treatment this morning. Please let her know I'm praying for her every day. Bad Cap. See y'all on Monday. Have a blessed weekend. You too, sir. Have a great day, and I hope treatment goes very well. Wait. Okay, my comments are cut, or Y2 edited mine. I'm not doing anything, and I don't think anybody has touched anything because I haven't seen any notifications on my side to say any of the mods or wrenches have changed anything in a while. For the 100 people that are here and for the 53 minutes you have been here, I just want to say thank you to all of you. You make things happen. According to SJ Penguin, I like penguins, says your channel art reminds me of John Rutter's Christmas album. Well, thank you for that. I can't claim all my art. My art's done by incredible people. My friend CJ actually, I believe, did the background that's currently up, and this particular item you can actually find on my website on all the merch. The Rooster Tiki is something you can get on a hat, on a sweatshirt, on a t-shirt. I have many of those. I like long sleeve t-shirts, and you can get your own rooster if you want. So Tobach says, I'm still sad they closed your taco time. That was one was always stopped at in trips up north. Yeah, well, there's a lot of great places to eat, especially in South Carolina. You can go to Mr. Mexican Iron Man's taco trucks. You don't want to miss that ever. Canadian Spider-Man says, I wasn't even there, man. All right, well, it looks like you were. Canadian Spider-Man. All right, guys, we got to get going. We are going to end the show before the full hour. There are other places you need to be today, including that Park Place, WDW Pro, and, eventually FNT. After FNT, you've got just a number of great shows coming out. My friend Loki does another show on Fridays. It's the Late Show. along with, if you like the amazing puppetry of talented and irreverent Muppets. I would say the Cotton Connection over with Snowdub Entertainment, Snowdub's channel, who's growing like a weed. So there you are. You can get rabbit chicken tacos from my friend Mexican Iron Man, who I'm going to visit in South Carolina in March if I clear medically. So there's that. According to Weatherman, it says, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. That's right. Little Jim Carrey for you there from, I think, Mask, right? Anyway, let's do this. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, AO, AO.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.